is going to be a quick, raw talk, kind of a fireside chat, if you will, with Mr. Kristopher Aaron. I want to say welcome to everyone who is viewing live and welcome to everyone who will catch the replay. Let me just introduce myself. If you do not know me or you're new to the platform, my name is Shamika Jones. I am the CEO and founder of Eat Life to Live Life, which is a nutritional and wellness company. I'm also a nutrition educator or expert, as well as a secondary ed educator. And a financial educator in the area of life insurance and investments, and soon to be author in 2021. And so now I have Mr. Kristopher Aaron that I am speaking with for our raw talk, and he's going through, the topic is, are your sales talking? So he's going to talk about wellness from that standpoint. And I want to introduce him to you all so you know exactly who he is, right? So this is Mr. Kristopher Aaron. He was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois in 1974. He is 6 feet, 6 inches tall and weighs 218 pounds. Syracuse University is his alma mater. After 10 years of working in the world of high finance, investing in insurance between 1998 and 2008, with companies such as AIG, Chase, Zurich, ING, Primerica, and Alliance, he decided to take his talents to the field of natural health. He went from selling life insurance to life assurance. After seeing so many people in his family, including his mother, die at the hands of chemotherapy, radiation, surgeries, and pharmaceutical meds, and how most of it would have been avoided if people were willing to change their diet and lifestyle, he decided to become a crusader. In January of 2009, he became a high raw vegan and has maintained that lifestyle to this day. He is also an ultra marathoner, that is someone who runs races, usually well over 50-mile distances. He works as a wellness consultant, trainer, and facilitator for extended water and juice fasts. His motto is self-care leads to self-love. Your seed is the only master your future will obey. That is awesome. Hello, Mr. Kristopher Aaron. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm happy, Shamika. I'm happy. It's good to see you.
Oh, good to see you as well. It's always good to see you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I would like you to kind of just tell us a little bit more about who you are, what you do, why you're so passionate about this area of wellness.
It's a good question. Because, this area affects all areas of life. Health is wealth. Cleanliness is godliness. And, when I was in the financial arena over 12 years ago, 15 years ago, I was introduced to this lifestyle, and it changed my life. I was introduced through colonics, and then raw food and yoga and things of that nature. And it was something that a lot of people back in those days, like 15 years ago, most people, raw food was like, man, it was, you're not, giving up meat was something. It was crazy, yeah. But I saw the benefits of it immediately. Mm-hmm. And my parents are from Mississippi, so I grew up eating the Southern soul food diet, and it tasted real good, but it's not good for you. Right. And so that's pretty much what, got me on this journey, spiritual journey.
Okay, awesome. And so tell me about, I definitely appreciate your story, especially when you talk about your mother. And sometimes it takes situations to kind of awaken us to make meaning of their lives, even through their life experience, to then transition us into another phase of our life. And I love your motto, and I'm assuming that that's your wellness philosophy. Can you go a little bit more into how you help people understand, the goodness that food can provide for us, and how that works for us at the cellular level?
That's a good question, Shamika. What I normally do is I either host an event, like a raw food event, where people can come and hear some information that they may not be normally privy to. Sure. And then I normally serve food. I normally have food. Or I do really probably the best way to introduce people to this lifestyle is by hosting or facilitating a 21 or 42-day fasting group. I've been facilitating group fast for over 10 years now.
Okay.
From 160 people online to, we've had some huge groups.
Wow.
And but most of my groups are normally around 30 to 40 people doing a 42-day fast or 21-day fast. And that's the best way to introduce people to this lifestyle or a healthier lifestyle, because it gives your body a cellular cleanse at the cellular level, not just at the atomic level or the molecular, all the way down to the cell. And normally it takes at least 21 days to really break through the stuff that's within us. And so, yeah, we call it a solid food vacation.
Okay.
Or, yeah, just going on that again for a minimum of 21 days.
Gotcha.
28 days is it's a lunar cycle. It's the wealth number of wealth, universal number of wealth.
Okay.
Now, I always recommend people, if you have the ability to, and most people can, even if they're working full time, do a 142 or 40-day fast per year on water and juice.
Okay.
What it does is give you a full house clean, and it'll heal most of your health issues just during that period of time.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And we're going to come back to that. I'm going to put a pin in that piece, that last piece that you said about it, healing most of your issues. But I want to go to the book that you helped co-author. Now, guys, this book is called True Wealth Starts in the Mind. Whatever man puts his mind on, it will not be denied him. And so there's several authors. There he is right there on the back. This is edited by Miss Lisa M. Jones. It is on Amazon. So you can pick this up if you want to read about this section that Kristopher Aaron has written about. But it's something I want to highlight in the book because you've already mentioned raw. And this is something that just stuck out to me. You said all animals on this planet except humans and domesticated pets eat 100% raw. You say raw means real. I'm not talking about raw animal products. I'm talking about uncooked and uncultivated fruits and vegetables. We tend to lose or greatly diminish what you call our sixth sense the more that we cook and process our foods. Can you talk a little bit more about that so you can create a context around it?
Absolutely. I would love to. It's the fall of mankind, without question. Whenever we cook or add heat to our food, it loses enzymes. It destroys a nutrient that feeds our sixth sense. As human beings, Shamika, we are a sixth sense species. We're not a 5 sense species. We're a 6 sense species. Okay. And when you cook food, it destroys what we call biophotons. Okay. Biophotons. And that's just coherent sunlight energy that our cells need to communicate. Okay. Our cells need that energy to communicate now. So if you're going a whole lifetime eating mostly cooked food, dead food, then you pretty much been disconnected from source, from each other, from the animals, from the planet. And so that's basically what it is. When you eat live food, when you eat raw food, it sharpens your senses and it gives you back your sixth sense. Okay. Whenever we cook our food, it destroys a nutrient that feeds our sixth sense. Gotcha. And it destroys biophoton activity. Okay. So that's why it's important. People say, why is raw food so important? It still has life in it. It has the life in it. And then when you go out of that, like you just said, look at wild animals and why they're so strong. They're not only eating wild food, raw food, they're eating wild food, undomesticated. Not domesticated. Most people eat domesticated raw food. If they eat raw food, when you go to the grocery store, that's domesticated, and it's not wild. And wild food has twice the biophotons as domesticated raw food. So, okay. Yeah. So that's why.
Okay, good. That's good. And so I just hear people in my mind saying, okay, now what's a biophoton? What is a
You know,
biophoton? What is that?
it's coherent sunlight energy that all living systems store in their cells. And
Mm,
our cells use that energy to communicate. The best way, if people want to get a bigger, bigger depth, if they want to get more information, really go deep with it, the person who discovered biophotons a while back, this guy by the name of Fritz Albert Popp, P-O-P-P,
okay.
Fritz Albert Popp. You Google him or YouTube him,
Mhm.
and you get more info with biophotons.
Okay.
That's our connection to God. That's our connection to each other.
Um,
When our dark side is unleashed when we're disconnected and we're eating so much processed foods and cooked foods. We become more competitive and less cooperative as well. Just look at the world. That lets you know, that tells you all you need to know, as far as that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that clarification. I appreciate it. I think that people kind of will probably get that a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I want to double back to, with fasting and all of that. I think in the spiritual space or the church space, fasting is something that we use as a tool to heighten ourselves spiritually.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, is there any difference between what you're talking about and what I may do with my church on a corporate level or even individually to elevate myself spiritually?
That's a good question, Shamika. Um, I will say this: most churches, they don't do real fast. They do what I call Beelzebub fast, because, and this is what I mean by that. They don't eat. They eating. They do partial fast, or they eat. While you're fasting. That's not fasting. That ain't that way. That's not gonna get the results. It's gonna give you a cleanse. But if you don't want the result, a fast is just air and water, water, air, and prayer. That's technically what a fast is.
Mhm.
Now, if you go over 21 days, then you can add in the juices, the live juices.
Okay.
And what I love about, like if you're in the church, you go to and you do a spiritual fast, there are principles that open certain doors and channels, like financial channels,
Mhm.
channels of favor, different channels when you're doing a spiritual fast. If
Sure.
you know what the numbers represent,
Sure.
deliverance.
Sure.
But you have to do it the right way and just go in with the idea that a true fast is nothing but water and air. You can add juice once you get to day 15, once you get past 14 days, which is deliverance, you can bring in the live juices. But up until that time, it has to be just water and air. And that's, and yeah, fasting, I know a lot of people look at it from a scientific perspective, especially in this lifestyle,
Mhm.
but fasting is really the best when you look at it from a spiritual perspective.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I'm a big fan of the Bible. There's so many references in the scriptures
Mhm.
about fasting, about the numbers, how many days you need to fast to get certain things,
Mhm.
and the power within it and how it rejuvenates us at cellular level.
Okay. And so
Yes.
thank you so much. And I just the significance of the numbers, can we talk a little bit about, because you said 21 days, 42 days. Can we talk
Yes.
about the significance of doing a 21-day fast versus what it means to do a 42-day fast? Are there significances with those numbers?
That's a good question, Shamika. A huge significance. The number 21 represents breakthrough. We call it the 3 7s. The number 3 is to establish or renewal.
Mhm.
7 is completion. 3 cycles of 7 to get the breakthrough. The 40 or 42-day fast represents overcoming death, overcoming ignorance. It leads to overcoming death, dismemberment, and ignorance. It's the minimum number of days that one has to do to cross over into what we call the kingdom of light or the kingdom of God or good, the kingdom of good. Big difference. So 21 days will get you breakthrough. It'll get you in the party. That's your you want to get in the game. That'll get you in. That's a rite of passage into the game.
Okay.
You're finally getting into the game. Get
Okay.
you to the door. You really get in and start, you got to do another 21 or at least another 19 days after that to really cross over.
Gotcha.
14 days is for deliverance. Yeah. They're very, and all those numbers are significant. And I learned them the hard way when through a desert experience that I had in Scottsdale, Arizona for 5 years. And so, but I'm so glad I got that experience. All those days and weeks and months in the desert, literally in a very hot rattlesnake infested desert, you know, learning these things and how the new moon cycles or the full, and how all that, and how, what the numbers are and what really happens. And it's real. And so,
and here is just kind of where I want to connect how I actually know you, a mutual business partner or mutual mentor. He's my mentor. Maybe he's your friend, but a mutual acquaintance of ours, who's a huge business leader in the financial services industry, really connected us. I was doing a fast with my business leader and the team for 10 days initially. And then I decided that I wanted to do the 21 days. And that's when you and I continued the process one-on-one. And and in the middle of that, my mother passed away.
Yes.
And I felt, and we were talking about this, I felt that this was something that I don't want to say needed to happen, but I felt that I wanted to go on, that wasn't going to be a distraction, because at that point I might have been maybe 10, 11 days in. And I felt lifted, elevated, even how I processed the initial news of my mom dying. I was in a completely different place. And so I said, well, I'm going to continue on, and I would like you to help me facilitate that journey to the 21 days. And when I tell you, it was an amazing experience, something a little bit different than just something being facilitated or orchestrated, even with my church family. And I probably, because of the occurrences that took place, my mother passing, and just where I was health-wise to begin with, all the way around from even last year up until when I met you. But Mr. Aaron, Chris was just so supportive along my journey and helping me understand the connection between what I was doing on a daily basis and how it was helping me through that process. And so I just really appreciate that. I just wanted to share that with, people and folks who are watching, because sometimes you may hear people say, well, I can't do that. How can I do that? How can I just drink water and that's it? And I'm going to turn it over to you to say, well, what do you say to someone who says, well, I mean, I probably figure I know what you're going to say, but what do you say to someone who says, oh, no, I'm not finna stop. I'm not going to stop eating. How can I do that? Because I'm going to die. If I stop eating, I'm going to die. If I stop eating, we know that's not true, but the folks will think that. And it's like, how can you do 21 days, let alone 42 days? My goodness. So, what do you say, and how do you help if someone wants to do it, but is challenged with that thinking?
Wow. Because you're right, Shamika. Normally I'm like, well, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you.
Exactly.
If you don't want to do it, get out of here. Well, I don't know. This is what I was right. For somebody who's challenged, if 21 days look like a huge mountain, or 40 days looks like it's almost impossible. And I understand that, because believe it, when 20 years ago, when my mentor said, Chris, let's do a 21-day water fast, I thought he was nuts. I didn't think it was possible. And I thought I'd die, literally. I just didn't think it was possible. But I'm here to tell anybody who's listening, Shamika, it's more than possible, and you can do it. For somebody who has to sort of, I would say, start with getting small victories. Maybe start by doing a 3-day fast, a 3-day fast, maybe on juice, 3-day juice fast, and then do a couple of those. And then try a 7-day fast, and then build up to a 10-day. But I've had some people in my groups that with no fasting experience just jump in and do a 21-day water only fast.
Wow.
Or a 42-day water and then juice fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about mindset. Everybody can do it. Fasting is for everyone.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, except for like pregnant women or somebody, most people handle fasting well because it's our primary method of healing. Mm-hmm. It's the fastest way to heal the human body. It's the best way to cleanse the human body. Mm-hmm. And it's the best way to strengthen the human body. The word itself, fast, means to make strong, mm-hmm. to make real strong. Mm-hmm. And I would just say you could take the baby step approach by trying maybe a 3-day weekend fast just on nothing but water or juice. Mm-hmm. Or, get the key is having, people that's been there and that's done it, get around those type of people. Yeah. And then your brain will expand and then you're like, I can do it. And when you're around people that have actually done it or believe in you that you can do it and just take it one day at a time. Mm-hmm. And then you'll negotiate the process. It looks way harder than it actually is. Mm-hmm. The key is just take each day one day at a time, win the day, and take each day as it comes. Mm-hmm. And before you know it, those 21 days or 42 days will be behind you. And you'll have a sense of pride, of power, of freedom that very few people get to taste. You'll taste what it feels like to be free. You'll taste what it feels like to be pretty much connected to God and getting real downloads. And it's just something that, one, you have to experience it for yourself to really know it. I can't really explain it. It's something you have to go through and experience yourself. But it's the most powerful spiritual antidote that we know. And it's the one thing that simply cannot be defeated by anything or anyone. It's the most powerful force in the universe. Mm-hmm. We call it the superior fast. Okay. You can't be defeated. That's how we overcome, by the blood of the Lamb or the waters, the living Christ, the waters of life. And it's almost like, how was the Wicked Witch of the West defeated in The Wizard of Oz? By water. That's how we defeat our enemy, through water. And there's no other way. There's no other way to do it.
That was a really
water and spirit.
Thank you. That was a really great analogy. I love that. And then I also wanted to connect for people who do have underlying conditions doing a fast, they're taking medications. What would be your recommendation for individuals who, have that situation going on and fasting? How does that actually work for them to get the full benefit of it?
It's a good question. I always have to give the disclaimer. I'm not a physician, not a doctor, anything like that. And I've had many people with almost every issue, hepatitis C, cancer, all types of health issues. Mm-hmm. The best thing you should do I don't care what type I had a lady on 40 different medications. She's down to like 5 now. If obesity or whatever, the best thing that you can do if you're on pharmaceuticals, if you're on medication, if you have any type of health condition, step 1, stop eating. You have to, like, whenever you're trying to change things, for step 1, stop eating for a period of time. You're gonna be fine. You're not gonna die. Your medicine's not gonna react. Just stop eating for at least 3 weeks to give the body a chance to catch up. Most people are about 12 to 15 meals backed up. Their lymph system is backed up. They're about 12 to 15 meals backed up. Mm-hmm. Now, to overcome that, you need to go like at a 2-to-1 ratio. So if you're 15 meals backed up, you're gonna have to do like a 30-day fast just to bring your body up to speed. So that would look like 21 water and maybe 9 on juices or something like that. Okay. But yeah. So it works. This works with pretty much every health condition. Okay. And I always say if fasting can't help you, then I don't know what could. I really don't know what could, because it's going to bring everything back in balance. Okay. Even if you still go back and use your medications or have surgery or whatever, it'll put you in a much better position to be able to handle those situations. Gotcha. And if anything, it's going to bring you closer to God, or closer to all that is good, closer to good, and then you'll be set apart. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think that would be that's very valuable information for someone who's having some issues with their health and wondering, man,
I want to, but I don't know whether or not I can because of what I'm
Yeah.
hearing from this, you know, health professional and then that one and then now you, and it's like, what do I do? So thank you so much. I think that will probably just shed so much light for people who are watching today. I want to just ask you, how can people actually find out what you have going on or what's coming up next in your world? What's coming up next? What's the next big event?
I'm glad you asked that, Shamika. Well,
Yes,
our next big event, and Shamika, you're going to be a part of this event.
I am.
Rawgist is coming up.
Rawgist.
We're eating fully raw, no cooking, no steaming, no anything. Fully raw for 31 days.
100%.
100% raw, and it's going to be great because I got 62 gourmet recipes for lunch and dinner for all those 31 days.
Yeah.
Breakfast is going to be fruit and smoothies and green juice and all that stuff, and it's just going to be great. We're going to have accountability, workout plans, and it's just going to be awesome.
Awesome.
So that's that. And then after that,
Mm-hmm.
there is another 42-day fasting group. Shortly after that, I think like 30 days after that, maybe either September 20th or October 20th.
Okay.
I wanted to get it in before the election so we can sort of move the needle as far, because this is an important election coming up.
Yeah.
I wanted to get it in before the election. I hope we are still able to do that. So yeah, those are the two events. And the easiest way to get in touch with me is just Facebook or Instagram, but Facebook is probably easy.
Okay, and they can find you at just Kristopher Aaron. Kristopher,
yes,
K.
With a K. With a K. Yes.
Okay, and I'll put all the details, guys, in the description for this live broadcast so that you will be able to reach out to him if you want more information in regard to that. Well, I am not going to hold you. He is a really busy man, so he has something going on immediately after this. But Chris, I thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your love, your service of love to your community and other communities, because you truly, helped me to move the needle with my health, and just being that accountability and just entering your community. It's just so nice to know that you have people who speak the same language, if that makes sense, right? And you're just not out there on an island somewhere. So I appreciate you
Yeah.
so much for that.
Shamika, let me tell you something. I appreciate you because I've been watching you for like the last 2 months, and I noticed all your little your recipes. When you post your raw recipes, I can see your passion through your food, and when you're in the kitchen, you post the videos, and I love it. That tells me you're really getting it, and you're doing it. You're doing the work, and you're living the lifestyle. And you're not just talking. You're trying. I see that. I know. I've been saying that to myself for at least the past 2 months.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Thank you so much.
I applaud you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I know that what was so key for me is the question I asked, because I hadn't always transitioned out of a fast the right way. And you were very key in helping me understand, because I was like, well, how do you really transition out of a fast? I think I know. I mean, I'm an expert in knowing what to do with foods and everything like that. But how do you transition out? And so you were like raw for at least 10 days out of the 21-day fast. I just kept going, you know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes people may need assistance with that. And of course, with Eat Life to Live Life, I provide menu plans and things of that nature. If you guys do want assistance with that, definitely reach out to me and I can put something together for you. If you're interested in Rawgist, it's a whole thing, y'all. It's like a whole community. Reach out to Kristopher Aaron to get more details about that. Again, we thank you so much, Chris, for spending this time with us. This is a holistic approach, guys. And so that's why I put this panel together, to bring you guys this rich information and expose you to people that you may not have been exposed to, because it's not mainstream. It is not mainstream at all. So I'm hoping that you get a lot of value out of this. Thank you so much for watching this live and also on the replay. Come back again on Sunday, where we're going to be talking about transcendental meditation. It's all about dissolving the stress that might be locked up in your body, because all of that works together. It is a perfect circle of health and wellness in this community on this platform. So having said that, guys, take care, be well, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye, Shamika.
Bye-bye, Chris.
Bye. Good seeing you. God bless you.
God bless you.
Yes, thank you.